Hey, gorgeous. Ever found yourself swept off your feet in the whirlwind of a new romance? We've all been there, the butterflies, the late-night conversations, the heart-fluttering moments. But what if I told you that sometimes, those fluttery feelings might be masking some serious red flags? We get it, dating can be fun and exciting, and sometimes, we get so caught up in the whirlwind that we overlook the warning signs. But girl, your time is too precious, and your heart deserves to be protected. That's why today, we're diving into the importance of evaluating your time and emotional investment in dating. Falling in love too fast can cloud our judgment, making it harder to see those early signs that something isn't right. That's where mastering detachment comes in. It's all about taking a step back, giving yourself space to really see who this person is, and recognizing those red flags early on. In today's video, we'll explore how to balance your heart and mind, so you can spot the deal breakers before you're too emotionally invested. Because, Radiant Rebels, your journey to finding real love should be smart, safe, and totally empowering. So, let's grab a cozy spot, maybe a cup of tea, and chat about how to protect our hearts while still having fun in the dating game. Ready to become a pro at recognizing those red flags? Let's get started. Red flag 1, inconsistency and unreliability. You know when he's all talk but no action? Like, he's constantly making plans but somehow manages to flake out on them more often than not? Yep, that's a big ol' red flag waving in your face. You're excitedly looking forward to a fun date night or a cozy evening together, only to be left hanging because he couldn't be bothered to show up or even give you a heads up. It's not just disappointing, it's downright disrespectful. Here's the tea, Radiant Rebels, consistency and reliability are like the glue that holds a relationship together. When someone can't even stick to their word or follow through on plans, it chips away at the trust and security you've built. And let's bust this misconception wide open, excusing his flakiness as just being busy? Nah, sis. While we all have hectic lives, consistently failing to prioritize you is a glaring sign of his lack of commitment. So, don't settle for someone who's all talk and no action. Your time is too precious to waste on someone who can't show up for you when it matters most. It's time to raise your standards and find someone who's as reliable as they are charming. Don't just watch from the sidelines, be an active participant in your own growth and transformation. Hit subscribe and join us on this incredible journey. Red flag 2, when you're way more excited to see him than he is to see you. Ever noticed how you're always the one making plans, sending those cute good morning texts, and eagerly waiting for his reply? It's like you're constantly more excited to see him than he is to see you. Girl, that's a major red flag waving right there. You see, when someone consistently shows less enthusiasm in spending time with you, it could be a sign that they're not as invested in the relationship as you are. Sure, we all have our busy days, but if his lack of interest becomes a pattern, it's time to pay attention. Now, here's the thing, some might brush it off, saying that one person in the relationship is naturally more laid back. But let's not kid ourselves, persistent disinterest is a clear indicator of deeper issues brewing beneath the surface. So, Radiant Rebels, don't ignore those gut feelings telling you something's off. It's okay to want someone who's just as excited to be with you as you are with them. After all, your time and heart deserve someone who's all in. Red flag 3, excessive bragging. Ever met a guy who just can't stop talking about himself? Like, every conversation somehow circles back to his achievements, his possessions, or how amazing he thinks he is. Girl, that's not just confidence, that's a red flag waving right in front of your eyes. Sure, it's great to be proud of your accomplishments, but when it's all he can talk about, it starts to feel less like a genuine conversation and more like a one-man show. What's really going on behind all that bragging? Well, here's the scoop, Radiant Rebels. excessive bragging often stems from deeper insecurities. It's like he's trying to overcompensate for something he feels lacking in, whether it's confidence, validation, or a sense of worth. And let's debunk this myth once and for all: true confidence doesn't need constant validation from others. It's about being secure in who you are, without needing to constantly prove yourself to everyone around you. So, if you find yourself rolling your eyes every time he starts another bragging session, it might be time to reassess whether his ego is worth your time. Because, honey, you deserve someone who's humble, genuine, and secure enough to lift you up instead of constantly boosting their own ego. Red flag 4, avoidance of difficult conversations. Ever noticed how he conveniently sidesteps conversations about money or where your relationship is headed? It's like these topics are off limits, and every time you try to broach them, he's suddenly an expert at changing the subject. Sweetie, that's a red flag fluttering in the breeze. Let's unravel this, radiant rebels. Dodging discussions about money or the future of your relationship isn't just about avoiding discomfort, it's about avoiding accountability. Because, let's be honest, talking about finances in the future can get a little messy, but it's essential for building trust and understanding in a relationship. Here's the scoop: when someone avoids these crucial conversations, it could indicate a lack of commitment or a fear of facing reality. But here's the truth bomb: ignoring these topics won't make them go away. In fact, it often leads to misunderstandings and resentment bubbling beneath the surface. So, don't let him off the hook that easily, darling. Your financial goals and the direction of your relationship are important discussions that deserve to be addressed head-on. Don't settle for someone who shies away from these talks. Your future is too precious to leave up in the air. It's time to find someone who's ready to dive into these conversations with you and build a solid foundation for the future. Red flag 5, disrespecting boundaries. Ever felt like your personal boundaries are more like suggestions to him? Like, no matter how many times you express your limits, he just keeps pushing them? Honey, that's not just a minor annoyance, that's a bright, flashing red flag waving right in your face. Let's break it down, radiant rebels. Respecting each other's boundaries isn't just a nice-to-have in a relationship, it's an absolute must. Your boundaries are there to protect your physical, emotional, and mental well-being, and anyone who can't respect them doesn't deserve a spot in your life. Here's the real talk: mutual respect for boundaries is the foundation of a healthy and fulfilling relationship. It's about honoring each other's autonomy and individuality, without crossing any lines. But here's where things get tricky: some might argue that boundaries should be flexible in a relationship. And while compromise is important, there are certain lines that should never be crossed. So, if he keeps ignoring or disrespecting your boundaries, it's time to take a step back and reevaluate whether he truly values you and your well-being. You deserve someone who listens, respects, and cherishes every part of you, boundaries included. Don't settle for anything less, darling, you're worth so much more than that. Sharing is caring. Share this video with someone who needs a little extra encouragement today. Red flag 6, you're the one always making plans. He's not trying to connect on a deeper level even after months of dating. Ever feel like you're the only one putting effort into planning your dates? Like, you're always the one suggesting new things to do or topics to talk about, while he seems content to just go with the flow? Sweetie, that's not just a minor hiccup, that's a glaring red flag waving in your face. Let's peel back the layers, radiant rebels. After months of dating, you'd expect to feel a deeper connection, right? But if he's showing zero interest in diving into more meaningful conversations, it's time to take a serious look at what's going on. Here's the scoop: genuine relationships aren't just about surface-level interactions and fun activities. They're about connecting on an emotional and intellectual level, delving into the depths of who you are and what you believe in. Now, here's where things get real. Some might argue that early relationships don't need that level of depth. But let's set the record straight, long-term connections are built on meaningful engagement from the very beginning. So, if he's content to keep things shallow even after months of dating, it might be a sign that he's not looking for anything serious. And honey, you deserve someone who's willing to dive deep with you, exploring every facet of your personality and building a bond that lasts a lifetime. Don't settle for anything less, you're worth all the depth and connection in the world. Mastering detachment in dating. Darling, mastering detachment in dating is like putting on your favorite pair of rose-tinted glasses, but still being able to see the world for what it truly is. It's all about finding that perfect balance between being open to love and protecting your heart from unnecessary hurt. Now, let's dive into the benefits, shall we? When you master detachment, you're not just safeguarding your emotions, you're also sharpening your judgment. Suddenly, those red flags become crystal clear, and you're able to make decisions based on what's truly best for you, not just what feels good in the moment. But wait, there's more. Detachment isn't just about keeping your emotions in check, it's also about prioritizing your own well-being. By practicing mindfulness and indulging in a little self-care, you're nurturing your inner goddess and ensuring that you're always radiating with confidence and self-love. So, whether you're navigating the wild world of online dating or exploring a budding romance, remember this: mastering detachment isn't about closing yourself off, it's about opening yourself up to love in a smart, safe, and empowering way. So, grab your favorite face mask, pour yourself a glass of bubbly, and let's embark on this journey together, radiant rebels. Because when it comes to matters of the heart, you deserve nothing less than absolute fabulousness. Now, here's the most important thing: your emotional well-being should always be your top priority. Don't settle for someone who doesn't value you, your boundaries, or your dreams. You deserve someone who sees your worth and treats you like the radiant queen you are. So, don't be afraid to walk away from anyone who doesn't appreciate the gem that you are. Trust your intuition, stay true to your standards, and remember that the right person will cherish every part of you, flaws and all. Keep shining bright, radiant rebels, and never forget that you hold the power to create the love story you've always dreamed of. You've got this.